Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. Now, this is take two for my March wrap up because when I went to upload the video, I don't know how I did it, but my camera somehow got put into slow motion. There was no sound, it was horrendous. I couldn't fix it. I got frustrated. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna record the video. Now, for the month of March, I had spring break. And I got a little busy and I noticed that when I'm home, like on breaks like that, I tend to, I don't know why, I guess because I get busier, I take some of the load off my mother-in-law. I watch my kids, obviously, because she does it for me while I'm working. So I take the full brunt of watching my kids. I feed my kids. I take more responsibility when it comes to the cooking and the cleaning. Even though right now during the school year, my husband does help me clean on Saturdays. So where we have Sundays off, it's like a family Sunday. But when I'm home, I usually, between my mother-in-law and I, will clean, like, let's say on a Friday to have the whole weekend off. And I do help her with that. So that's what we did in March. As you can probably hear, I'm still a little bit nasally because this cold just does not go away. I don't even know what to tell you. But either way, with all of that happening, I can tell you that I read, I want to say 5 books in the month of March. 4 or 5. I'm going to pull up my Goodreads now. One of the books that I read, I did return to the library the first time that I filmed this video because I'm like, oh, okay, I filmed it. I don't need the physical book anymore. Yeah, but that is okay. I know that that is the first book that I read. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. Because my Goodreads, I had to hook to the internet here. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I have read 4 books. It took me 4 days to read that? I don't think so. Anyways, I read 4 books in the month of March. The first book that I read is The Paris Daughter by Kristen Harmel. I will put like the book up here. And I am in my historical fiction era. Every year this time of year, I don't know why, there's just something about it. Hold on. Sorry, there's after school tutoring and I guess one of the kids is going home. So anyways, I am in my historical fiction era. I don't know why. The one that I have read the most, and that's the way I have to say, because I can't say that it's my favorite. It's my favorite because it's the one that I've read the most of. It's usually World War II. I don't know why, but it's usually World War II and from different aspects. Like last year, I reread All the Light We Cannot See. I reread The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult, and they were both from World War II, but different perspectives. All the Light You Cannot See is about a diamond, and it really has nothing to do with the Holocaust. It's about a diamond and like that aspect of the war, while the storyteller does deal with the Holocaust and that. But anyways, this one takes place in Paris. We have 2 women. We have Elise and Juliette. They meet because Elise is pregnant with her first child and she kind of has like a fainting spell, and then Juliette sees her and Juliette, helps her to her home, gives her some water, and they become friends through that. And they both end up having, Juliette is like heavily pregnant as well. She's got 2 boys, and then now she's pregnant with the third child, and it ends up being a girl. So both women end up having little girls about 3 months apart. It's something with a 3 months, 3 weeks, something like that apart. And they have that bond and that friendship over that. Now, it's important to note that Elise's husband is an artist, as is she. She's a wood carver. He's like a painter. And hold on, my mother-in-law calling me. Hold on. Gosh, that it was not my mother-in-law. It was my daughter using my mother-in-law's phone. My daughter's 5. Because she wants me to buy her ice cream cones, like the actual cones to put like an ice cream. She's homesick today. Anywho, so it's important to note that he is a painter. As World War II is starting to get to Paris, he kind of, oh yeah, like how do I say that in English? He supports, I guess, the Communist Party. So he becomes kind of a target for that. He goes missing. And then because Elise is related to him, even if it's by marriage, she becomes a hit. So she begs her friend Juliette to please take care of her daughter Mathilde. So Juliette agrees so that Elise can like run away. And then she's like, oh, when everything is safe, I will come back for my daughter. Fine, perfect. Elise goes off so that she isn't killed by the German soldiers. But during this whole time, Juliette is still in Paris at the bookshop that she runs with her husband. and the air raids start. The bombs start falling, and there's a bomb that falls right on their bookshelf, killing everybody in her family. So her husband is gone, her two sons are gone, and Matilde is gone. Matilde is Elisa's. Well, I say it Elisa. Elisa's. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Elisa's daughter. So now, as Juliet has to pick up the pieces, she has a family member that I think lived in New York. So she picked up the broken pieces as she moved to New York, you know, to start a new life with her and her daughter. That she's like, how do I go on without my husband and without my sons? And then she also had a third child that she had lost. I think it was a girl as well that she had lost that's buried in Paris. So she's like, how do I leave all my family behind? Whatever. She had to do it and she ended up going to Paris. So after the war, Elise comes back to pick up her daughter. But now she realizes that the bookstore is gone and Juliet is nowhere to be found. So little by little, she starts finding out that Juliet is in New York. So she travels to New York to, claim her daughter. And it's just, it was a beautifully written story because Juliet is like, because of you, because I had to take care of your daughter, I lost my family. Because I told my husband to make sure that your daughter was safe for when you return. I lost my husband. I lost my two sons, and you lost your daughter, all because of your selfish acts. While all Elise wants to do is really thank Juliet for taking care of her daughter during a time that she knew would be difficult. And it was just like at this age, what was the name of the daughter, of Juliet's daughter? I don't remember her name, but she is like maybe 19, 18, 19 or whatever. And she wants to, she's kind of rebelling against her mom because she wants to do things her way, but her mom doesn't want it that way. And I get it. You've lost your whole family. You want to keep your daughter in a bubble to protect her because you've lost everything and she's the last precious thing that you have. I love the book. It was not a 5-star feeling. This is the second book that I read by her, and I get the feeling that all her books are like World War II related because I read the other one last year, and it was the Book of Lost Names that also took place during World War II, where the main character, I forgot her name, was smuggling children, like Jewish children, out of Paris, I believe it was, and she was writing the names. So like if their names were changed from Ruth to, let's say, Elena, whatever it was, she would write down that Ruth was changed to Elena for whenever the kids would come back. They would know who they were and where they came from, and they wouldn't lose that heritage. I gave it a 4-star because it was really well written. It did get me crying. I think it was 2 parts that got me crying. And it's just like, it is a heartbreaking story because as a mom, I don't know if I would be able to leave my daughter. I mean, I know that it might be the safer option, but look what happened. She ended up losing her daughter in a bombing, while she survived. And then it's like that mom guilt that she has. And then she's trying to make the peace with Juliet because Juliet did take care of her daughter while she was gone. Beautifully written book. I recommend it. It did make me cry. 4 stars. The next one that I read, I have only heard one person talk about it, and that's Destiny Sidwell. And I'm so mad that like my cover just got a little bit messed up in the bag when I brought my books back to refilm this. But it is Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is to me, it is a beautiful cover. And it really was not what I expected. This book read so fast. It is young adult, but it read so fast and it doesn't even have chapters. So it is told from like the Greek gods. So you have Apollo, you have Aphrodite, you have Hephaestus, you have Hades that makes an appearance. And this story really centered around 4 young people. They were Hazel, James, Aubrey, and Colette. And this did take place during World War One. So Hazel and James, she's a pianist. Hazel is a pianist. And she was playing piano somewhere, and her and James, they, their eyes meet or whatever. And it's kind of like their love story. He goes off to war, and can their love really endure a war? You would have to read and find out. But it was beautifully written. And then, while James is off at war, Hazel wants to contribute to the war effort. So she, I think it's like for the YMCA where they help like the soldiers or whatever. There she meets Colette, who is French. She has lost everyone. Her mother, her brother, the boyfriend that she had. So she has nothing. So she joins this and she becomes very good friends with Hazel. Now, Aubrey is the 4th person. What role does he play? He is a musician in a black band that they kind of get like contracted to play for the men at war. But then they also form part of like I guess like the black portion of the army and like their own regiment within the army. So of course, back in the day, he and Colette start falling in love, but of course he's black, she's white. That wasn't seen as correct. They didn't care, obviously, but it's just it goes off on that. So the question is, ugh, I forgot. I thought that this had the question, but the question is, oh, here it is. Does love conquer war? It was so easy to read. I remember reading this when I was like sick and giving myself like nebulizing treatments because I could not breathe. I could not stop coughing. But I would sit there on the couch with my mask, and it's like the words are big. I'll put it this way, which I do appreciate big words because I do wear contacts or glasses because I'm completely blind. So I appreciated the big words, and it's like I would sit there for like maybe 20 minutes because that's how like the nebulizing treatment would last, and I would read, or I felt that I would read so much of the book and I would get sucked into it. And it was just, it really was not what I was expecting. Destiny gave it 5 stars. It did not give me the 5-star feeling. Would I read it again? Of course. Things were just different. I would recommend it. I loved it. 4 stars. The next one, I ordered it last year. It is by one of my favorite authors. So she is an autobiographer. I've liked her work for quite a few years now, and that is Jodi Picoult by Any Other Name. This book just gives me all the spring feels with the flowers. So we have 2 timelines. We have today, which is Melina Green, and then we have like the Elizabethan era, which was like the 1500s. And that was Emilia, which is Melina's ancestor. The two women, what they have in common is that they are both playwrights. Melina feels that even in today's society, today's world, like the right now, and I don't know about this because I don't know anything about theater production, but she feels that just because she is a woman, she does not get the same opportunity to be a playwright or to have her work turned into a play or to a theater, like an active theater, because she is a woman. So that is something that she struggles with. In Amelia's timeline, we not only, which I found more interesting, honestly, than Melina's story, but that's just me. In Melina's timeline, we see how hard, how rough she had it. And just like Melina, she was also a playwright. Now, this book puts into question Shakespeare. So, they felt, and I would have to do my research, so I'm just going based strictly on what I read from the book. This book makes you wonder, or it kind of puts into question, did Shakespeare really write all of his plays? Because the way that this book goes, Emilia became a playwright, but nobody knew that because she would give her plays to Shakespeare. He would sell them, they would become theater productions, and she would make a part of that money. Even though she wrote it, it would be under the name of Shakespeare. And in the book, it says that other playwrights did that as well for whatever reason, because they were women or they just need, for whatever reason, they used Shakespeare. And then some of the things that come into place are like that I guess this is where I would have to do my research. But I know that as an author, I know that Jodi does her research. Not saying she's right or wrong, but I know she does research. But she was saying, like, how could it be that Shakespeare knows what a woman really feels? He's not a woman. He wouldn't have the feelings that a woman has. Or how does he know what it was like in this city if it's never been recorded that he's been there? So it's just like different things like that. It was kind of interesting because it got me thinking, is it true that he just fronted his name for all of these plays? Or did he really write some of them? I want to be honest. I really don't care. I'm not a Shakespearean girl. Sorry. I was not a fan of it in high school. Not a fan of it now. I guess that's why I didn't connect to this book so much because she's had other ones in the past that I've liked more. But either way, and I just felt so bad for Emilia, that poor woman. She suffered every single step of her life. But I liked her timeline more than today's timeline, more than Melina Green. With that said, it was an interesting read because, like I said, I couldn't put down Emilia's side of the story. What I do not like, as she does this all the time, and I'm talking about Jodi, her chapters are so long. When chapters are so long, I prefer to read on my Kindle because, like, sometimes I'll read in bed and, like, on my Kindle, I don't, like, the light doesn't bother people. Let me see if I can find a chapter because sometimes it'll be, like, that I'm reading a chapter and my Kindle would say that it would take me about an hour to read that chapter. So let me see. Hold on. I'm finding a chapter. Okay, I found the beginning of one. Let me see if I can find the end of that same chapter. Okay, here we go. That's my mother-in-law calling me again. But hold on. That is one chapter. And yes, granted, it's Amelia's chapter, which were the longer ones. But it's like, I don't know. I hate it when she does them so long. And it's all her books are like that. So either way, I did give this book a 4-star. I do recommend it. I know she's not everybody's cup of tea. It was not my favorite by her, I will tell you that. But it was still an interesting read to me. The fourth and final book, I didn't even physically read it. I listened to it because I'm going to be honest, I have over 100 books on my TBR, my physical TBR. And I keep buying more. I bought 2 more at the dollar store the other day. And I have a few new releases that need to come out. Plus other releases that are coming out. Like Sarah Adams just dropped book 4 of the One in Rome series. So you know that I have to pre-order that. Anyway, so I'm trying to like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. While I like to physically read one, I like to listen to another one while I'm getting ready in the mornings. Preparing my lunch and getting my daughter dressed to go to school or whatever. So I did listen completely. So sorry. I listened completely to this one. She's probably calling me because it's late. Yeah, it's late. I gotta go. To Hexed. This is the biggest of the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. It is like a Little Mermaid retelling. It is telling us the story of Vanessa, which is like, if you've seen The Little Mermaid, it's like Ursula in human form. I gave it a 3-star. I've said it before. I haven't really been in the mood to listen to them, but I want to knock them off, and I don't want to listen to music. I want to knock off the books and hey, I want to embrace my audiobook era. But I did like this one more in the past. I guess because I like the story of The Little Mermaid. I kind of liked this one more. I felt bad for Vanessa because she really got the short end of the sticks. And that's all I have to say about it. I've said it about the series. I want to keep the books and maybe physically read them so that then I can determine what I am going to do with them, if I'm going to donate them or if I'm going to keep them, because honestly, I think they're beautiful covers. Especially this one. This is kind of like, I don't know if you can see that the shell is kind of like foiled. These are beautiful covers, and that's what drew me in. So I would like to like physically sit there and reread the books one day. This one is kind of like huge, but it doesn't matter to me. It was 513 pages, so the one I'm reading right now is longer, but whatever. I liked it. 3 stars. It's a series that I would like to reread again. Oh my god, hold on. I think it's my daughter calling me. Hold on. Sorry, my mother-in-law is desperate for me to get home. She can wait. Anyways, I am here at the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any one of these books. Did you have a 5-star read in March? How much did you read in March? And what was your favorite read of the month, even if it wasn't a 5-star? And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.